Terrestrial slugs are a group of gastropod mollusks that have adapted to life on land. They are closely related to their aquatic relatives, such as snails, but they have evolved various adaptations to thrive in terrestrial environments. These slugs are known for their slimy appearance and their ability to move across a variety of surfaces using a muscular foot. Here are some key characteristics and information about terrestrial slugs. Terrestrial slugs lack the external shell that is characteristic of many aquatic snails. Instead, they have a soft, flexible body. The front part of their body, called the head, typically bears sensory tentacles with eyes on the tips, allowing them to sense their environment and detect light and motion. Terrestrial slugs produce mucus, which they use to move across surfaces, as well as for various other functions. The slime trail they leave behind is used for locomotion, to help with moisture retention, and as a means of communication or defense. Most terrestrial slugs are herbivores, feeding on a variety of plant materials. They have a specialized feeding structure called a radula, which is a rough, tongue-like organ with tiny teeth that they use to scrape and rasp plant matter. Terrestrial slugs are found in a wide range of terrestrial environments, including gardens, forests, meadows, and urban areas. They thrive in damp or moist habitats, as they are prone to desiccation and require moisture to survive. Slugs are hermaphrodites, meaning they possess both male and female reproductive organs. During mating, they exchange sperm with other slugs. After mating, they lay gelatinous egg masses, which contain numerous eggs. The eggs eventually hatch into juvenile slugs. Terrestrial slugs play important roles in ecosystems. They are detritivores, meaning they help break down decaying organic matter, including fallen leaves and dead plant material. This aids in nutrient recycling and decomposition. While some slug species are ecologically important, others can become garden pests. They may feed on various garden plants and crops, which can be a concern for gardeners and farmers. Slugs have evolved various adaptations to terrestrial life, including their mucus production, their ability to retract into their body when threatened, and their sensory tentacles, which help them navigate their environment. Terrestrial slugs are common and diverse, and they can be encountered in various parts of the world. While some are beneficial for ecosystems, others can be problematic for agriculture and gardens. Slug control methods, such as using barriers or traps, are often employed to manage their populations in areas where they become pests. Snails are gastropod mollusks with coiled shells that are typically spiral in shape. They are found in various terrestrial, freshwater, and marine environments around the world. Snails are characterized by their soft, slimy bodies and their coiled shells, which they carry on their backs. These shells serve as a protective home for the snail and are secreted by the snail's mantle, a specialized organ. Some key characteristics of snails include: snails have a unique feeding organ called a radula, which is a tongue-like structure covered with rows of tiny, chitinous teeth. They use their radula to scrape food particles from surfaces, such as plant material or algae. While many snails move at a slow, deliberate pace, they are capable of both creeping and gliding. They secrete mucus to help them move, and this mucus can be quite slippery. Terrestrial snails breathe air, while aquatic snails extract oxygen from water through gills. Some land snails have a lung-like structure, called a pallial cavity, which enables them to respire in air. Snails are hermaphrodites, which means they have both male and female reproductive organs. They typically exchange sperm with another snail during mating. There is a wide variety of snail species, and they can range in size from a few millimeters to several inches in length. Snails play various ecological roles in their respective ecosystems. They can be herbivores, detritivores, or even predators, depending on the species. In some cultures, snails are considered a delicacy and are prepared and consumed as food, particularly in dishes like escargot. Snails are also studied in biology and ecology for their unique characteristics and adaptability to different environments. Squid are marine cephalopods, which means they are a type of mollusk related to octopuses and cuttlefish. They are known for their elongated bodies, with a distinct head, mantle, and tentacles. Squid have a soft, cylindrical body with a streamlined shape that allows them to move efficiently through the water. Here are some key characteristics of squid. Squid have 8 long, flexible arms and 2 longer tentacles, equipped with suckers. These appendages are used for capturing prey and manipulating food. Squid are agile swimmers and use a method of jet propulsion to move through the water. They expel water through a siphon, creating thrust and propelling themselves forward. This method of locomotion allows them to escape predators and pursue prey. Squid have a sharp, parrot-like beak that they use to tear apart prey. They also possess a radula, a specialized feeding organ covered in tiny, chitinous teeth, which is used to scrape and process food. Many squid species are capable of rapidly changing the color and pattern of their skin to camouflage themselves from predators or to ambush prey. Squid have well-developed brains and a sophisticated nervous system, allowing them to exhibit relatively complex behaviors, such as hunting, navigation, and communication. Squid reproduce by laying eggs, and they often have a short lifespan. They are semiporous, meaning they reproduce just once in their lifetime. Squid are an essential part of marine ecosystems and are an important food source for various marine predators, including whales, sharks, and some fish species. Additionally, they are a significant component of human diets in various cuisines around the world. Calamari, which is a popular dish in many regions, consists of squid that has been breaded and deep-fried. Squid are also used as bait in fishing and play a role in scientific research, particularly in the study of marine biology and behavior. Octopuses are fascinating marine creatures known for their distinctive appearance, intelligence, and complex behaviors. They are cephalopods, belonging to the same mollusk class as squids and cuttlefish. Octopuses have a soft, bulbous body with no internal or external skeleton, and they are characterized by several unique features. Octopuses typically have 8 long, flexible arms that are lined with suckers, which they use for various purposes, including capturing prey, manipulating objects, and exploring their environment. Like squids, octopuses possess a sharp beak at the center of their arms, which they use to bite and tear apart their prey. Octopuses are renowned for their remarkable ability to change the color and texture of their skin to blend in with their surroundings. This camouflaging capability helps them hide from predators and ambush prey. Octopuses are considered one of the most intelligent invertebrates. They have well-developed nervous systems and are capable of problem-solving, learning from experience, and exhibiting complex behaviors. Some species of octopuses are known for their impressive problem-solving skills and even tool use. Octopuses are typically solitary animals and do not form social groups or colonies. They are known for their often reclusive and cryptic behavior. Octopuses have relatively short lifespans, often living only for a few years. Their life cycle typically includes a single, short-lived reproductive period. Octopuses reproduce by laying eggs, which they often attach to a protected surface. The female guards and cares for the eggs until they hatch. Octopuses are found in oceans around the world and inhabit various marine environments, including shallow coastal waters and the deep sea. They are carnivorous and feed on a wide range of prey, including crustaceans, fish, and other mollusks. In addition to their role in marine ecosystems, octopuses are also of interest to researchers and scientists due to their unique characteristics and behaviors. Their intelligence and problem-solving abilities have led to studies in neurobiology and behavior, as well as their potential use as models for robotics and artificial intelligence. Octopuses are also appreciated in various cuisines and are consumed as food in some parts of the world, with dishes like octopus salad and grilled octopus being popular preparations. Oysters are bivalve mollusks that are commonly found in marine and brackish water environments. They are characterized by their hard, calcified shells, which consist of 2 hinged valves. These shells are often irregularly shaped and can vary in size and color depending on the species. Oysters are well known for their culinary significance and are considered a delicacy in many parts of the world. Here are some key characteristics and information about oysters. Oysters have a two-part shell, with one valve being flat and the other concave. The shell is usually rough and may have ridges or irregular growth patterns. The shells are made of calcium carbonate and are connected by a hinge ligament. Oysters are filter feeders, which means they obtain their food by filtering small particles, such as plankton and organic matter, from the water. They pump water through the gills, trapping food particles on mucus-coated gill filaments. Oysters are typically found in estuaries, coastal areas, and shallow marine environments. They attach themselves to hard substrates like rocks, shells, or other oysters using byssal threads, which are strong and elastic fibers secreted by the oyster. Oysters are generally gonochoristic, meaning they have separate male and female individuals. They release sperm and eggs into the water, where fertilization occurs. The fertilized eggs develop into planktonic larvae, which eventually settle and grow into adult oysters. Oysters are considered a delicacy in many cuisines. They can be consumed raw, grilled, steamed, fried, or used in various dishes like oyster stew, oysters Rockefeller, and seafood cocktails. Oysters are often served with various condiments, such as lemon juice, hot sauce, and horseradish. Oysters are a good source of protein, vitamins, and minerals. They are relatively low in fat and calories, making them a nutritious seafood choice. Oyster farming, also known as oyster aquaculture, is a common practice where oysters are cultivated in controlled environments to meet the demand for oysters in the seafood industry. These oysters are often grown on oyster beds or in floating bags. Oysters have cultural and economic importance in many coastal regions, and their consumption has a long history. They are not only valued for their taste, but also for their role in maintaining water quality by filtering and improving the health of their aquatic ecosystems. Mussels are a type of bivalve mollusk, closely related to clams and oysters. They are known for their distinctive oblong, dark, and elongated shells, which are typically blue, black, or brown in color. Mussels are found in freshwater and marine environments and are widely consumed as seafood in many parts of the world. Here are some key characteristics and information about mussels. Mussels have two hinged shells that are held together by a strong and flexible ligament. The shells are asymmetrical, with one shell being flatter and the other more convex. Like oysters and clams, mussels are filter feeders. They feed by drawing in water through a siphon, filtering out tiny particles, such as plankton and organic matter, and expelling clean water. This filtering process helps to improve water quality and nutrient cycling in aquatic ecosystems. Mussels inhabit a variety of aquatic environments, including freshwater rivers, lakes, and streams, as well as intertidal and subtidal marine zones. They attach themselves to hard surfaces like rocks, logs, or other objects using byssal threads, strong and sticky filaments that they secrete. Mussels are typically gonochoristic, meaning they have separate male and female individuals. They release sperm and eggs into the water, where fertilization occurs. The fertilized eggs develop into planktonic larvae, which eventually settle on a suitable substrate and grow into adult mussels. Mussels are widely appreciated for their flavor and are commonly consumed in a variety of dishes, including steamed mussels, mussel soups, and pasta dishes. They are known for their tender, slightly sweet, and briny taste. Mussels often take on the flavors of the sauces and seasonings they are cooked with, making them versatile in culinary preparations. Mussels are a good source of protein, vitamins, minerals, and omega-3 fatty acids. They are considered a nutritious and healthy seafood choice. Mussels are often considered an environmentally sustainable seafood option because they require minimal feed, don't rely on wild fish stocks for their diet, and can help improve water quality by filtering algae and organic matter from the water. Mussels have cultural and economic importance in many regions, particularly in Europe and the Mediterranean, where they are a staple in seafood cuisine. Their farming, known as mussel aquaculture, is a common practice, and mussels are harvested when they reach a desirable size for culinary use. Cuttlefish are marine cephalopods closely related to octopuses and squids. They are known for their unique and distinctive appearance, with a soft, oval-shaped body and a cuttlebone, which is a porous internal shell that provides buoyancy and control over their depth in the water. Cuttlefish are remarkable creatures with a range of interesting characteristics. Cuttlefish have a soft body that is often elongated and flattened, with a mantle that encases their internal organs. They have a pair of large, W-shaped fins running along the sides of their body and a set of tentacles and arms that are equipped with suckers. Their eyes are very well developed and allow them to see a wide spectrum of colors and patterns. Cuttlefish are renowned for their exceptional camouflage abilities. They can change the color and texture of their skin rapidly to blend in with their surroundings or communicate with other cuttlefish. This is achieved through chromatophores, specialized pigment cells in their skin. Similar to squids, cuttlefish have an ink sac that contains a dark, ink-like substance. When threatened by predators, they can eject this ink as a defensive smokescreen to confuse and distract their attackers, allowing the cuttlefish to escape. Cuttlefish have 2 long tentacles and 8 shorter arms, all equipped with suckers. These appendages are used for capturing prey, manipulating objects, and exploring their environment. Cuttlefish are considered among the most intelligent invertebrates. They exhibit problem-solving skills and can learn from experience. Their advanced nervous system allows them to display complex behaviors and adapt to various situations. Cuttlefish are carnivorous and feed on a diet of small fish, crustaceans, and other marine creatures. They are skilled hunters and use their tentacles to strike at prey. Cuttlefish have separate male and female individuals and reproduce by mating. The male transfers sperm to the female using a specialized arm called a hectocotylus. Females lay eggs, which are often attached to substrates, and they guard and care for them until they hatch. Cuttlefish have relatively short lifespans, typically living for 1 to 2 years. Their life cycle includes rapid growth and maturation. Cuttlefish are not only of biological interest but also of culinary significance. They are consumed in various cuisines, particularly in Mediterranean regions, where dishes like cuttlefish ink risotto and grilled cuttlefish are popular. In addition, cuttlefish have been studied for their remarkable abilities in the fields of biology, neuroscience, and materials science, serving as inspiration for camouflage technologies and the development of adaptive color-changing materials. Abalones are marine mollusks that belong to the family Haliotidae. They are known for their single, spiral-shaped shells with a series of small, open holes or apertures. These apertures serve as a means for water to enter and exit the abalone's respiratory and circulatory system. Abalones are prized for their meat, which is considered a delicacy in various cuisines. Here are some key characteristics and information about abalones. The shell of an abalone is ear-shaped and has a low, open spiral structure. It is characterized by its mother-of-pearl or iridescent interior, which is used to create various decorative items, including jewelry and inlay work. Abalones are typically found in cold-water marine environments along rocky coastlines, especially in intertidal and subtidal zones. They attach themselves to rocks and other hard substrates using a strong, muscular foot. Abalones are herbivores and feed on various types of marine algae and seaweed, using a specialized feeding structure called a radula. Many abalone species are threatened or endangered due to overfishing and habitat destruction. They are particularly vulnerable because of their slow growth and low reproduction rates. Conservation efforts are in place to protect and restore abalone populations in some regions. Abalones are highly regarded in gastronomy and are often considered a luxury seafood item. They can be prepared in various ways, such as pan-fried, grilled, or served in dishes like abalone sashimi. The meat is known for its delicate flavor and tender texture. Abalones have cultural and traditional significance in some indigenous communities, where they are used for food, tools, and decorative purposes. Their shells have been historically used in crafting jewelry and traditional adornments. Abalones can also produce pearls, although these pearls are typically small and less valuable than those produced by oysters. The iridescent, colorful interior of the abalone shell is what gives rise to these pearls. Different species of abalones can be found in various parts of the world, including the United States, Australia, and parts of Asia. The harvesting and trade of abalones are regulated in many regions to protect the species and prevent overexploitation. Slugs are gastropod mollusks that are closely related to snails, but are characterized by the absence of a visible external shell or having a very small, internal shell that is typically hidden beneath their mantle. Slugs are part of the class Gastropoda, which includes a wide variety of species, both terrestrial and aquatic. These creatures are known for their elongated, soft bodies, and they are commonly found in gardens, forests, and other humid or moist environments. Here are some key characteristics and information about slugs. One of the defining features of slugs is their lack of a prominent external shell, which is the primary distinction between slugs and snails. While some slugs may have a small, internal shell, it is often reduced and not visible. Slugs have a soft, elongated body that is usually cylindrical or slightly flattened. They typically have two pairs of retractable tentacles on their head. The upper pair, known as the optical tentacles, bear light-sensitive eyes at their tips, while the lower pair function as sensory organs for tasting and feeling their environment. Slugs produce a mucus or slime, which serves various functions. It helps them move smoothly over surfaces, provides protection from dehydration, and facilitates the absorption of oxygen through their skin. The slime trail left behind by slugs is a notable feature of their presence. Most slugs are herbivorous and feed on a wide range of plant material, including leaves, flowers, and decaying plant matter. Some species can be pests in gardens and agricultural fields, causing damage to crops. Slugs are hermaphrodites, which means they have both male and female reproductive organs. When they mate, they exchange sperm with one another. After mating, they lay clusters of eggs in damp, sheltered locations. The eggs hatch into juvenile slugs. Slugs are most commonly found in damp and humid environments. They thrive in gardens, forests, and other areas with plenty of moisture. They are also known to be active at night and during rainy or overcast conditions. Slugs have various natural predators, including birds, amphibians, and some insects. They are also vulnerable to parasitic nematodes, which can infect and kill them. While some slugs can be considered pests due to their plant-eating habits, others play essential roles in breaking down organic matter and contributing to nutrient cycling in ecosystems. Slugs are a subject of interest in biology and ecology, as they play a role in nutrient recycling and have adapted to various environmental conditions. Scallops are a type of bivalve mollusk, similar to clams and oysters, and they are well known for their fan-shaped shells. These marine creatures are highly regarded in culinary circles for their tender and sweet meat. Here are some key characteristics and information about scallops. Scallops have two hinged, symmetrical shells that are usually ridged and fan-shaped. The shells are typically white, pink, or reddish-brown on the outside, and the inside is typically a pearly, iridescent color. The living part of the scallop, including its eyes and tentacles, is located between the two shells. Scallops are found in oceans worldwide, living in sandy or gravelly seabeds. They are capable of swimming by rapidly clapping their shells together, which propels them through the water for short distances. Scallops are filter feeders, and they consume plankton, algae, and small particles from the water. They use a specialized structure called a ciliated gill to capture food and pump water in and out of their shells. Scallops have a row of bright blue eyes around the edge of their mantle. These eyes can detect changes in light and motion, helping scallops escape from predators. Scallops are gonochoristic, meaning they have separate male and female individuals. Fertilization typically occurs externally, with the release of eggs and sperm into the water. Scallops produce free-swimming larvae that eventually settle and grow into adult scallops. Scallops are highly prized for their delicate and slightly sweet flavor. They are often prepared by searing, baking, broiling, or grilling, and they are a popular ingredient in dishes like scallop ceviche, scallop risotto, and bacon-wrapped scallops. The edible part of the scallop is the adductor muscle, which is the muscle responsible for opening and closing the shell. Scallops are a good source of protein, low in fat, and provide essential vitamins and minerals, including vitamin B12, iodine, and zinc. Scallop farming is a common practice in the seafood industry. It involves cultivating scallops in controlled environments, such as underwater nets or cages, to ensure a sustainable supply of these shellfish. Scallops are not only appreciated for their taste, but also for their role in marine ecosystems, as they help maintain water quality by filtering particles from the water. They are considered a luxury seafood item and are enjoyed in a wide range of international cuisines. Nudibranchs, often referred to as sea slugs, are a group of colorful and striking marine gastropod mollusks. They are known for their vibrant and ornate appearances, as well as their fascinating behaviors. Nudibranchs belong to the subclass Opithobranchia within the class Gastropoda, and they are highly diverse in terms of species and appearance. Here are some key characteristics and information about nudibranchs. Nudibranchs are renowned for their colorful and intricate patterns. Their vibrant colors and unusual shapes make them stand out in marine environments. These vivid colors are often a result of the nudibranch's diet, as they incorporate pigments from the organisms they consume. Unlike many other gastropods, nudibranchs have lost their shells during evolution, and their internal shells, if present at all, are reduced or completely absent. This loss of a shell allows them to be more flexible and streamlined. Nudibranchs are carnivorous and feed on various prey, such as sponges, cnidarians, hydroids, and other small marine invertebrates. Some nudibranchs have evolved to use the toxins of their prey for their own defense. Nudibranchs breathe through exposed gills, which are often located on their backs or sides. The gills resemble delicate, feather-like structures, giving nudibranchs their name, which means naked gills. Nudibranchs are primarily marine creatures and are found in a variety of marine environments, from shallow, intertidal zones to deep-sea habitats. They are particularly abundant in tropical coral reefs, but they can also be found in temperate and cold water regions. Some nudibranchs are toxic or distasteful to predators due to the toxins they accumulate from their prey. They use their bright colors and striking patterns to signal their unpalatability to potential predators. Nudibranchs are hermaphrodites, meaning they have both male and female reproductive organs. When mating, they exchange sperm, but they often have complex mating rituals. After fertilization, they lay gelatinous egg masses that can be found on surfaces in their habitat. Nudibranchs are a subject of significant scientific interest due to their intricate behaviors, striking appearances, and unique adaptations. They are studied in fields such as marine biology, ecology, and systematics. Nudibranchs have a wide range of species, and each species may have its own specific behaviors and dietary preferences. Their captivating appearances and intriguing behaviors make them a favorite among divers and underwater photographers who seek to observe and document these remarkable creatures in their natural habitats. Chitons are a type of marine mollusk that belongs to the class Polyplacophora. They are characterized by their distinctive, flattened, oval-shaped bodies and a unique shell composed of multiple plates or valves. These plates overlap, resembling a suit of armor, which provides protection and flexibility. Chitons are primarily found in intertidal and subtidal zones in marine environments and are known for their simple yet fascinating characteristics. Here are some key details about chitons. Chitons have a dorsal shell composed of 8 separate, articulating plates, also called valves. These plates are arranged in a series, overlapping like roof shingles. The The plates are made of aragonite, a form of calcium carbonate. Chitons are herbivores and typically feed on algae and other plant material found on rocks and hard substrates in their environment. They use a specialized feeding structure called a radula to scrape food particles from surfaces. Chitons are found in various marine environments, ranging from rocky shorelines in intertidal zones to deep-sea habitats. They are commonly found clinging to rocks and other hard surfaces. Chitons move slowly by creeping across surfaces using their muscular foot. They leave characteristic feeding tracks on the substrate, which can often be observed by the visible scrape marks on rocks. Chitons breathe through gills, which are situated in a cavity beneath the shell. Water is drawn into the cavity, and oxygen is absorbed while carbon dioxide is expelled. Chitons are typically dioecious, meaning they have separate male and female individuals. Fertilization occurs externally when sperm is released into the water to fertilize eggs. After hatching, chiton larvae go through a planktonic stage before settling and developing into adults. Chitons have various natural predators, including sea stars, crabs, and certain species of fish, birds, and snails. Chitons rely on their shell for protection against predators. When disturbed, they can curl up into a ball to cover their softer, unprotected underside with their shell plates. Chitons are not as well known as some other mollusks, like clams or snails, but they play an important role in marine ecosystems by grazing on algae and helping to maintain the balance of these ecosystems. Their unique shell structure and simple yet effective body design have made them a subject of interest in the fields of biology and paleontology. Conch, pronounced conch, refers to a variety of large, sea-dwelling mollusks, specifically gastropod mollusks belonging to the family Strombidae. These marine creatures are recognized for their spiral-shaped shells and are found in tropical and subtropical waters around the world. Conch is significant in the culinary and cultural traditions of several regions, particularly in the Caribbean and parts of the Mediterranean. Here are some key characteristics and information about conch. Conch shells are large and spiral in shape, often with a striking pink, orange, or yellow hue. The opening of the shell, where the conch animal extends its body, is lined with a flared, thickened lip. Conch shells have a pointed spire and can grow quite large, with some species having shells reaching up to a foot or more in length. Conch are primarily found in warm, shallow waters, often in seagrass beds and sandy or rocky bottoms. They prefer sandy and well-illuminated environments, and they are commonly encountered in coastal areas. Conch are herbivores and feed on algae and other plant materials found on the seabed. They use a specialized feeding structure called a radula to scrape food from surfaces. Conch have a large, muscular foot that allows them to move along the seabed, crawl on rocks, or bury themselves in the sand to avoid predators. Conch are dioecious, with separate male and female individuals. Fertilization usually occurs externally, with the release of sperm and eggs into the water. After fertilization, conch eggs develop into free-swimming larvae before settling on the seabed and growing into adults. Conch meat is considered a delicacy and is used in a variety of dishes, especially in Caribbean cuisine. Common preparations include conch fritters, conch ceviche, and conch salad. The meat is known for its tender texture and mild, slightly sweet flavor. Some conch species produce pearls, although these pearls are less famous and valuable than those produced by oysters. The pearls are typically small and irregularly shaped. Conch shells are often used for decorative purposes and are popular souvenirs in coastal tourist destinations. They are also used in various forms of art and craftsmanship. Conch fishing is regulated in many areas due to concerns about overharvesting, as some conch populations have declined in response to increasing demand. Sustainable harvesting practices and regulations are implemented to protect these important marine species. Venus clams, often referred to simply as Venus clams or Venus shells, are a type of bivalve mollusk belonging to the family Veneridae. These clams are widely distributed in marine environments around the world and are named after Venus, the Roman goddess of love and beauty. Venus clams are known for their rounded to oval shells and are of culinary and ecological significance. Here are some key characteristics and information about Venus clams. Venus clams have symmetrical, rounded to oval-shaped shells with a distinct beak, which is the pointed, elevated area on the hinge side of the shell. The shell color and pattern can vary among species but often include shades of white, brown, and gray. The interior of the shell is typically smooth and glossy. Venus clams are found in a variety of marine habitats, including intertidal zones, coastal areas, and offshore sediments. They burrow into the substrate, such as sand or mud, and use a muscular foot to dig and anchor themselves in the sediment. Venus clams are filter feeders, drawing in water through siphons and capturing small particles, such as plankton, organic matter, and bacteria, using their gills. They filter feed as a means of obtaining nutrients from the surrounding water. Venus clams are gonochoristic, which means they have separate male and female individuals. Fertilization typically occurs externally, with the release of eggs and sperm into the water. The fertilized eggs develop into larvae that go through a planktonic stage before settling on the seabed. Venus clams are harvested for culinary purposes in various regions around the world. They are used in a wide range of dishes, including clam chowder, pasta, and seafood stews. The meat is known for its tender and mildly sweet flavor. Venus clams play an essential role in marine ecosystems, as they help improve water quality by filtering and removing suspended particles from the water. This filtering process contributes to the overall health of the ecosystem. Sustainable harvesting practices are essential to ensure the long-term health of Venus clam populations. Regulations and quotas are often put in place to manage clam fisheries and prevent overexploitation. Venus clams are a versatile and valuable seafood resource. Their use in culinary traditions, their role in maintaining water quality, and their importance in marine food webs make them ecologically and economically significant. They are appreciated for their role as a source of sustenance and as a delicacy in various cuisines. The giant squid is one of the most mysterious and elusive creatures in the ocean. It is a massive marine cephalopod and is one of the largest invertebrate species in the world. Giant squids are known for their enormous size, with some individuals reaching lengths of up to 43 feet or more, although much of their biology and behavior remain a mystery due to their deep-sea habitat. Here are some key characteristics and information about giant squids. Giant squids are characterized by their immense size. They have long, cylindrical bodies, with a mantle that can reach several feet in length. Their tentacles are lined with suckers and can extend to over 25 feet. Giant squids are deep-sea creatures and are typically found in oceanic waters at great depths. They are known to inhabit depths ranging from 1,000 feet to over 3,000 feet or more. Giant squids are rarely observed alive in their natural habitat. Most of what is known about them comes from carcasses that have washed ashore or from specimens accidentally caught in fishing nets. Giant squids are believed to be carnivorous and primarily feed on other deep-sea creatures, such as fish and smaller squid species. Their feeding habits and prey preferences are not well documented. While little is known about the predators of giant squids, they are thought to be preyed upon by large marine mammals, such as sperm whales. Sperm whales are known to have battle scars from encounters with giant squids. The giant squid is often confused with the colossal squid, which is another enormous and deep-sea dwelling squid species. The two species have some differences in size, appearance, and habitat, with the colossal squid being even larger and more elusive. Very little is known about the reproduction and life cycle of giant squids. They are thought to be semiparous, meaning they reproduce only once in their lifetime. Like other deep-sea creatures, giant squids are believed to have the ability to produce bioluminescence, which they may use for communication or attracting prey. Despite their rarity, scientists continue to study and learn more about giant squids by analyzing the limited specimens that have been captured or recovered. Giant squids have captured the imagination of people for centuries and have often been the subject of myths and legends. Modern scientific advancements have allowed for a better understanding of these enigmatic creatures, but many aspects of their biology and behavior remain shrouded in mystery due to the deep-sea depths in which they reside. Sea hares are a type of marine gastropod mollusk that belongs to the group Anaspidia. They are known for their distinctive appearance, including their elongated bodies and large, ear-like appendages known as parapodia. Sea hares are unique and fascinating creatures with several interesting features. Sea hares come in various shapes and sizes, but they generally have elongated, soft bodies with a pair of large, wing-like parapodia on the dorsal side. These parapodia resemble the floppy ears of a hare, hence the name sea hare. Their colors and patterns can vary, and some species are strikingly colorful. Sea hares have a remarkable defense mechanism. When threatened, they can release a vivid, ink-like secretion, known as purple ink or opaline, into the water. This secretion serves to confuse or deter potential predators. Sea hares are herbivores and feed on various types of marine algae and seaweed. They have a radula, a specialized feeding structure, with which they scrape and consume algae from rocks or other surfaces. They breathe through gills located within their parapodia. The gills are well-vascularized structures that help extract oxygen from the surrounding water. Sea hares are found in a variety of marine habitats, from shallow intertidal zones to deeper offshore waters. They often inhabit areas with abundant algae and seagrasses, which are their primary food source. Sea hares are hermaphrodites, meaning they have both male and female reproductive organs. During mating, two sea hares exchange sperm packets, and each individual can later lay a cluster of gelatinous egg masses. These egg masses may resemble small, translucent grapes and contain numerous developing embryos. The lifespan of sea hares can vary, but they typically live for a few years. Sea hares have been studied for their unique nervous system and their potential for revealing insights into the field of neurobiology. Their large and relatively simple neural circuitry has made them valuable in neurological research. Sea hares are an intriguing group of marine mollusks, and their distinct appearance and defensive ink secretion have earned them a place in marine biology and the realm of marine life enthusiasts. They are important components of marine ecosystems, particularly in their roles as herbivores, and they contribute to the overall health of underwater environments. Geoducks, pronounced gooey ducks, are a type of large, edible saltwater clam native to the Pacific Northwest of North America. They are notable for their long, siphon-like neck, which can extend up to several feet in length. Geoducks are the largest burrowing clams in the world and are known for their unique appearance and culinary significance. Here are some key characteristics and information about geoducks. Geoducks are among the largest of all clams, with the neck often exceeding 3 feet in length. The neck is soft, cylindrical, and can be buried deep in the substrate, with just the tip exposed. The shell of a geoduck is relatively small in comparison to the size of the clam's neck. It is usually about 6 inches in length and has a round, wrinkled appearance. Geoducks are primarily found in sandy or muddy sediments in intertidal and subtidal zones, often in bays, inlets, and along the coastline of the Pacific Northwest, including Washington State, British Columbia, and Alaska. Geoducks are filter feeders and obtain their food by extending their long necks into the surrounding sediment to reach plankton and detritus. They pump water through their siphon, filter out particles, and expel clean water. Geoducks are among the longest-lived animals on Earth. They can live for well over a century, with some individuals estimated to be more than 100 years old. Geoducks are separate-sexed, with both male and female individuals. They release eggs and sperm into the water, where fertilization takes place. The larvae that hatch from the fertilized eggs are planktonic and undergo several stages before settling to the seafloor to grow into adult geoducks. Geoduck meat is considered a delicacy and is highly sought after in Asian cuisine, particularly in dishes like sashimi and seafood hot pot. The meat has a unique texture and a mild, sweet flavor. Commercial harvesting of geoducks is an important industry in the Pacific Northwest. It involves carefully digging the clams from the seafloor and then returning them to the ocean after harvest. Sustainable management practices are in place to ensure the long-term health of geoduck populations. Geoducks are both ecologically and economically important. Their long lifespan and ability to filter large volumes of water contribute to the health of marine ecosystems. The distinct appearance and culinary appeal of geoduck meat have made them a sought-after seafood in various parts of the world. Limpets are a type of marine gastropod mollusk that belongs to the family Patellidae. They are characterized by their low, conical shells and their ability to tightly adhere to rocks and other hard surfaces in the intertidal and shallow subtidal zones of the ocean. Limpets are found in various coastal regions worldwide and have several interesting features. Limpets have a conical or cap-shaped shell that is typically very low, which allows them to cling closely to rocks. The shell is often smooth and may be ribbed or grooved. The shape of the shell helps protect the limpet from desiccation and predators. Limpets are well known for their strong attachment to rocks. They use a muscular foot to create a suction-like seal against the substrate, which enables them to resist the force of crashing waves and helps prevent them from drying out during low tides. Limpets are herbivorous and feed on algae and other microscopic marine organisms. They have a specialized feeding structure called a radula, which they use to scrape algae from the surface of rocks. Their feeding marks are often visible on the rocks. Limpets are primarily found in intertidal zones, where they are exposed to both air and water during the tidal cycle. They are well adapted to this challenging environment, with their strong adhesion and resistance to desiccation. Limpets have a relatively sedentary lifestyle. They graze on algae within a specific home range, often returning to the same spot on the rock after foraging. Limpets are usually dioecious, meaning they have separate male and female individuals. Fertilization takes place externally when eggs and sperm are released into the water. After hatching, limpet larvae undergo a planktonic stage before settling on the substrate and growing into adults. Limpets are preyed upon by a variety of organisms, including birds, crabs, sea stars, and other marine animals. To avoid predators, they often graze during high tides when they are submerged and seek refuge under their shells. Limpets are ecologically important as they help control the growth of algae in intertidal areas, contributing to the health of coastal ecosystems. They are also of interest to ecologists studying how species adapt to and thrive in challenging environments, such as the dynamic intertidal zone. Argonauts, also known as argonaut octopuses or paper nautiluses, are a group of fascinating marine cephalopods belonging to the family Argonautidae. Unlike most other octopuses, argonauts have an unusual method of buoyancy and shell use that sets them apart. Here are some key characteristics and information about argonauts. Argonauts are unique among octopuses in that they secrete and use an external, paper-thin, coiled, and chambered shell. The shell is light and buoyant and helps the argonaut to control its position in the water column. It is primarily used by female argonauts, while males do not have a shell. Argonauts have a transparent, gelatinous body, with large eyes and webbed arms. The females can grow to be significantly larger than the males, reaching lengths of up to 10 inches or more, while males are much smaller. The argonaut's shell is used to adjust buoyancy. By controlling the amount of gas trapped within the shell chambers, the argonaut can regulate its position in the water column, allowing it to rise or sink as needed. Argonauts are typically found in warm and temperate oceans, often in open waters away from the seafloor. They are pelagic, meaning they live in the open ocean, and they are capable of swimming or drifting using their webbed arms. Argonauts are carnivorous and feed on a diet of small fish, plankton, and other small marine organisms that they capture using their long, slender arms. Reproduction in argonauts is complex. Males transfer sperm packets to females using a specialized arm, called a hectocotylus. Females then use the sperm to fertilize their eggs. After fertilization, Females lay their eggs in their shell chambers, creating a protective environment for the developing embryos. The female will then release the egg case into the open ocean, where it floats until the young argonauts hatch and emerge as miniature adults. The argonaut's distinctive shell has been prized as a collector's item and has been historically used in various forms of art and craftwork. Argonauts are notable for their unique reproductive strategies, their external shells, and their ability to adapt to the open ocean environment. They continue to be of scientific interest, and their complex life history and behavior are subjects of ongoing research. Turban snails are a group of marine gastropod mollusks known for their distinctive, coiled shells with a shape that resembles a turban or a top. These snails belong to the family Turbinidae, and they are found in various coastal regions around the world. Here are some key characteristics and information about turban snails. Turban snails are named for their unique shell shape, which is generally conical or top-shaped, with a flattened spiral and a high, pointed apex. The shells can have various patterns and colors, often with intricate designs. Turban snails are primarily marine snails and are commonly found in intertidal and subtidal zones, where they live on rocky surfaces, corals, and other hard substrates. They are often associated with shallow, tropical waters, but they can also inhabit temperate regions. Turban snails are herbivores and primarily graze on algae and other microscopic marine organisms. They use a radula, a specialized feeding structure, to scrape and consume algae from the surfaces of rocks and other substrates. Turban snails have a muscular foot that allows them to move slowly across surfaces in search of food. They use a combination of muscular contractions and mucus secretions to glide over substrates. Turban snails breathe through gills located within their shells. These gills extract oxygen from the surrounding water, and waste carbon dioxide is expelled. Turban snails are typically dioecious, meaning they have separate male and female individuals. Fertilization occurs internally, with the transfer of sperm from the male to the female. Females lay eggs, which develop into planktonic larvae that eventually settle and grow into adult snails. Turban snails are preyed upon by a variety of marine animals, including certain fish, crabs, and sea stars. They have developed various mechanisms to avoid predation, such as hiding in crevices or retreating into their shells. Turban snails, like many marine mollusks, are of interest to scientists studying marine ecosystems and biodiversity. They play a role in maintaining the balance of coastal ecosystems by controlling algae growth. Turban snails are valued not only for their ecological roles but also for their aesthetic appeal. Their striking shell shapes and colors make them popular among collectors and are sometimes used in jewelry and decorative crafts. The Humboldt squid, also known as the jumbo squid, jumbo flying squid, or Dosidicus gigas, is a large and highly aggressive species of squid found in the waters of the eastern Pacific Ocean, particularly along the coasts of North, Central, and South America. Humboldt squid are known for their impressive size, predatory behavior, and the unique ability to change color rapidly. Here are some key characteristics and information about Humboldt squid. Humboldt squid are among the largest of all squid species. They can grow to lengths of up to 7 feet or more and weigh as much as 100 pounds. These squid are known for their remarkable ability to change color rapidly, allowing them to blend in with their surroundings or communicate with other members of their species. They can range in color from reddish-brown to white or pink. Humboldt squid inhabit the eastern Pacific Ocean, primarily in the waters off the coasts of North, Central, and South America. They are often found at depths ranging from the surface down to several hundred meters. Humboldt squid are voracious predators that feed on a variety of marine organisms, including fish, crustaceans, and other squid. They are known for their aggressive hunting behavior, and they often hunt in groups. These squid are capable of swift and coordinated attacks on prey. They are known to employ a flashlighting technique, which involves producing bioluminescent light from specialized organs on their bodies to disorient prey and reveal their location. Humboldt squid have a relatively short lifespan, typically living for less than 2 years. They reproduce by laying eggs, which develop into planktonic larvae before settling and growing into adult squid. Humboldt squid are known to exhibit cannibalistic behavior, with larger individuals sometimes preying on smaller members of their own species. Humboldt squid are commercially fished in some regions for their meat and ink. They are commonly used in various dishes, including ceviche and calamari. Humboldt squid are often found in large shoals or groups. They are highly social and may communicate with one another through complex body patterns, color changes, and bioluminescent displays. Humboldt squid are of interest to marine biologists and fishermen alike due to their unique characteristics, including their aggressive hunting behavior, rapid color changes, and their role in marine food webs. Their ability to migrate and their interactions with other species in the ocean make them a subject of ongoing scientific research. Paper nautiluses, also known as paper nautilus or argonaut octopuses, are a group of fascinating marine cephalopods that belong to the family Argonautidae. They are closely related to octopuses, but they have some unique characteristics that set them apart. Here are some key characteristics and information about paper nautiluses. Paper nautiluses, particularly the females, are known for their external, paper-thin, coiled shells. These shells are often referred to as paper shells. The shells are extremely lightweight and buoyant and are used by females as a protective chamber for their eggs. Males do not have an external shell. The body of a paper nautilus is relatively small in comparison to the size of its shell. The females have a transparent, gelatinous body and a pair of webbed arms. Males are much smaller and do not possess the distinctive shell. Paper nautiluses are pelagic, which means they live in the open ocean. They are primarily found in tropical and subtropical waters in open ocean regions. The buoyancy of paper nautiluses is controlled by the gas-filled chambers within their external shells. By adjusting the amount of gas in these chambers, they can regulate their position in the water column, allowing them to float on the surface or dive to deeper depths. Paper nautiluses are believed to be carnivorous and feed on small prey, such as tiny fish, crustaceans, and zooplankton, which they capture using their arms. Reproduction in paper nautiluses is complex. Males transfer sperm packets to females using a specialized arm called a hectocotylus. Females use the sperm to fertilize their eggs, which are laid inside their shell chambers. The females then release the buoyant egg cases into the open ocean, where they float on the surface until the young paper nautiluses hatch and emerge as miniature adults. Like many pelagic creatures, paper nautiluses have several natural predators, including larger marine animals such as fish and birds. The distinctive and delicate shells of paper nautiluses have been prized as collector's items and have been historically used in various forms of art and crafts. Paper nautiluses are captivating creatures due to their unique reproductive strategies, their external shells, and their adaptation to the open ocean environment. They are of scientific interest and have been studied to gain insights into their behavior, ecology, and physiology. Razor clams are a group of bivalve mollusks belonging to the family Solenidae. These marine clams are known for their elongated, razor-shaped shells, from which they get their name. Razor clams are highly valued for their meat, which is often considered a delicacy and used in various culinary dishes. Here are some key characteristics and information about razor clams. Razor clams have distinctive, elongated, and cylindrical shells that resemble the shape of a straight razor. The shells are often smooth and glossy, with a characteristic keyhole, or razor, shape. Razor clams are typically found in sandy or muddy substrates along the shorelines of oceans and seas. They are known for inhabiting intertidal zones, which means they are often exposed at low tide and burrow into the sand to avoid desiccation. Razor clams are excellent burrowers. They use their strong foot to dig rapidly into the sand or mud. They create U-shaped burrows that can be several feet deep, extending vertically down into the substrate. Razor clams are filter feeders, primarily consuming plankton, detritus, and other small particles from the surrounding water. They extend their siphons to the surface of the sand to filter water for food. While razor clams are adept at burrowing into the sand, they are not highly mobile once they have established their burrows. They tend to stay within their burrows and extend their siphons to filter feed. Razor clams are typically dioecious, meaning they have separate male and female individuals. Fertilization occurs externally when eggs and sperm are released into the water. The fertilized eggs develop into planktonic larvae, which later settle on the seabed and grow into adult clams. The meat of razor clams is considered a delicacy in many coastal cuisines around the world. It is often used in various dishes, including chowders, pastas, and stir-fries. The meat is known for its tender texture and sweet, slightly briny flavor. Razor clams are commercially harvested in some regions, often using specialized tools designed to extract them from the sand. Sustainable management practices are implemented to ensure the health of razor clam populations. Razor clams are appreciated for their culinary value and are popular among seafood enthusiasts. Their unique burrowing behavior and habitat make them a fascinating part of coastal ecosystems. They are of ecological significance, contributing to sediment and water quality through their filter feeding activities. Triton's trumpet, scientifically known as Charonia tritonus, is a large marine gastropod mollusk or sea snail belonging to the family Ranellidae. It is one of the most iconic and visually striking sea snails due to its impressive size, ornate shell, and unique hunting behavior. Triton's trumpet is found in warm, tropical waters and is often associated with coral reefs. Here are some key characteristics and information about Triton's trumpet. Triton's trumpet has a large, beautifully sculpted shell that is elongated and spiral in shape. The shell is typically creamy white with brown or dark brown markings, which can vary in pattern and intensity. The opening of the shell is narrow and tapers to a pointed tip. These sea snails are among the largest gastropods in the world, with shells that can reach lengths of up to 2 feet or more. The size of Triton's trumpet shells makes them highly distinctive. Triton's trumpet is a carnivorous predator that feeds on other mollusks, particularly the crown-of-thorns starfish, which is known to be destructive to coral reefs. Triton's trumpets are equipped with a long, extendable proboscis that they use to locate and capture their prey. They can inject a venom into their prey to immobilize it before consuming it. Triton's trumpet is typically found in coral reef ecosystems and is often associated with sandy or rocky substrates. They prefer warm, tropical waters and are most commonly encountered in the Indo-Pacific region. These sea snails are mobile and can crawl along the substrate using their muscular foot. They are known to be both nocturnal and diurnal, being active during both day and night. Triton's trumpets are hermaphroditic, meaning they have both male and female reproductive organs. They lay eggs, which develop into planktonic larvae before settling on the ocean floor and growing into adult snails. Triton's trumpet populations have faced pressure from overharvesting, as their shells are highly sought after by collectors and artisans for their intricate beauty. In some areas, regulations have been put in place to protect these snails from overexploitation. Triton's trumpet is not only admired for its ornate shell, but also for its role in coral reef ecosystems by helping control populations of the crown-of-thorns starfish, which can have a detrimental impact on coral reefs. These striking sea snails play an important ecological role in maintaining the health and balance of reef systems. Wentletraps traps are a group of small, sea snails belonging to the family Epitoniidae, known for their intricate, spiral-shaped shells. These shells are highly ornate, often with delicate, spiral ridges and patterns. Wentletraps traps are typically found in marine environments and are known for their captivating shell designs. Here are some key characteristics and information about Wentletraps traps. Wentletrap trap shells are coiled in a spiral, resembling a miniature turret or a winding staircase. The shells are typically elongated and have a pointed tip. The term Wentletrap is derived from the Dutch word wenteltrap, which means spiral staircase or winding stairs. Wentletrap shells are generally small, typically measuring less than an inch in length. Their petite size adds to their charm and delicacy. What sets Wentl traps apart is the intricate and often striking ornamentation on their shells. The shells may feature fine spiral ridges, whorls, and sculptural patterns, giving them an elegant appearance. Wentl traps are marine snails and are typically found in sandy or muddy substrates in coastal and shallow waters. They are commonly associated with coral reefs, seagrass beds, and intertidal zones. Wentl traps are detritivores, meaning they primarily feed on small organic particles and detritus found in the sediments of the ocean floor. They use a specialized radula, a feeding structure, to scrape and consume these particles. These snails have a muscular foot that allows them to crawl across the substrate in search of food or suitable habitat. However, they are not highly mobile compared to some other marine snails. Wentl traps are typically dioecious, with separate male and female individuals. They reproduce by laying eggs, which develop into planktonic larvae before settling on the ocean floor and growing into adult snails. The intricate and visually appealing shells of Wentl traps have made them popular among shell collectors and enthusiasts. Collectors often prize rare or elaborately ornamented specimens. Wentl traps are admired for their ornate shells and are sometimes used in decorative arts, jewelry, and crafts due to their aesthetic appeal. They are a charming and visually striking component of marine ecosystems, where their delicate shells contribute to the diversity of forms and patterns in the natural world. Bubble snails, scientifically known as the family Bullidae, are a group of small to medium-sized marine gastropod mollusks. They are often recognized for their distinct, bubble-like or globular shells, which give them the common name. Bubble snails are found in various marine environments and are known for their unique characteristics. Here are some key characteristics and information about bubble snails. Bubble snails have shells that are typically globose or rounded, resembling a bubble or a small balloon. The shells are smooth and may be translucent, often with a glossy appearance. These snails are relatively small, with shell diameters usually ranging from a few millimeters to a few centimeters, depending on the species. Bubble snails are marine gastropods and can be found in various coastal and shallow water environments, including rocky shores, intertidal zones, seagrass beds, and sandy or muddy substrates. Bubble snails are herbivores and feed on a diet of algae, including diatoms and other microalgae. They use a radula, a specialized feeding structure, to scrape and consume algae from the surfaces of rocks and other substrates. These snails have a muscular foot that allows them to crawl over surfaces in search of food. While they are not known for fast or extensive mobility, they are adapted to their specific habitat. Bubble snails respire through gills, extracting oxygen from the water in which they live. Their gills are usually located in the posterior part of the body. Bubble snails are typically dioecious, meaning they have separate male and female individuals. Fertilization typically occurs through the release of eggs and sperm into the water, leading to the development of planktonic larvae before settling and growing into adult snails. Bubble snails are of interest to marine biologists and researchers studying the biodiversity and ecology of coastal and intertidal ecosystems. They play a role in algae grazing and contribute to the overall balance of these environments. While bubble snails may not be as well known as some other marine snail species, the unique and attractive shell shapes make them an intriguing component of marine ecosystems. They showcase the diversity of forms and adaptations that have evolved in the world of gastropod mollusks. Cockles are a type of small, edible saltwater clam belonging to the family Cardiidae. They are bivalve mollusks known for their distinctive heart-shaped shells and are often used in various culinary dishes. Cockles are found in coastal areas around the world and have a long history of human consumption. Here are some key characteristics and information about cockles. The shells of cockles are typically heart-shaped or somewhat rounded, and they are usually smooth and shiny. The two shells are equal in size and have a prominent hinge, allowing them to close tightly. Cockles are relatively small clams, with their shells typically measuring between 0.4 to 2 inches in width. The size may vary depending on the species and location. Cockles are found in intertidal zones and subtidal areas of coastal environments, where they burrow into sandy or muddy substrates. They are often located in estuaries, bays, and shallow coastal waters. Cockles are filter feeders and primarily consume phytoplankton, microalgae, and other small particles from the water. They extend their siphons to the surface to filter water for food. Cockles are capable of limited mobility within their burrows, using their muscular foot to dig and reposition themselves in the substrate. They respire by extracting oxygen from the water through gills. When exposed at low tide, they close their shells to retain moisture and reduce the risk of desiccation. Cockles are usually dioecious, with separate male and female individuals. Fertilization takes place externally when eggs and sperm are released into the water. The fertilized eggs develop into planktonic larvae before settling on the ocean floor and growing into adult cockles. Cockles are commonly used in various culinary dishes, including soups, stews, pasta dishes, and seafood platters. They have a slightly sweet and briny flavor and are often considered a delicacy in many coastal cuisines. Commercial and recreational harvesting of cockles is practiced in many regions. They are typically dug from the substrate using rakes or shovels during low tide. Cockles are appreciated not only for their culinary value, but also for their role in marine ecosystems, where they contribute to nutrient cycling and the overall health of coastal habitats. They are a versatile and tasty addition to seafood dishes and have been enjoyed by people around the world for centuries. Ram's horn snails are a group of freshwater snails belonging to the family Planorbidae. They are named for the distinctive shape of their coiled shells, which resemble the spiral shape of a ram's horn or a unicorn's horn. These snails are known for their adaptability to various freshwater habitats and play important roles in aquatic ecosystems. Here are some key characteristics and information about ram's horn snails. The shells of ram's horn snails are coiled in a spiral, typically resembling the shape of a horn. The coiling can be either dextral or sinistral, depending on the species. The shells are often translucent and may be brown or green in color. Ram's horn snails are relatively small, with shell diameters usually ranging from a few millimeters to about an inch, depending on the species. These snails are predominantly found in freshwater environments, including ponds, lakes, rivers, streams, and marshes. They can adapt to a wide range of water bodies, from stagnant to flowing waters, and are often associated with aquatic vegetation. Ram's horn snails are herbivores, primarily grazing on algae and detritus. They use a radula, a specialized feeding structure, to scrape and consume food from the surfaces of aquatic plants and substrates. These snails have a muscular foot that allows them to crawl along aquatic vegetation and other submerged surfaces. They can also swim by undulating their foot. Ram's horn snails are hermaphroditic, meaning they possess both male and female reproductive organs. They lay their eggs in gelatinous masses that are attached to underwater surfaces. The eggs hatch into small snails that develop into adults. Ram's horn snails are important components of freshwater ecosystems. They help control algal growth by grazing on aquatic plants and contribute to nutrient cycling by breaking down organic matter. In some cases, ram's horn snails have been introduced into water bodies to help control the spread of certain aquatic plants, particularly invasive and nuisance species. Ram's horn snails are fascinating inhabitants of freshwater habitats, and the unique shell shapes make them easily recognizable. They are valuable for their roles in maintaining the ecological balance of aquatic environments and for their potential use in managing aquatic vegetation. Golden cowries, also known as Cypria aurantium, are a species of small to medium-sized sea snails or cowrie shells. They are known for their striking, glossy, and brightly colored shells that feature a distinctive orange or yellow hue, which resembles the color of gold. These shells have been prized for their beauty and have been used historically in jewelry, ornamentation, and as currency in various cultures. Here are some key characteristics and information about golden cowries. Golden cowries have glossy, ovate to egg-shaped shells that are primarily golden orange or yellow in color. The shells are often highly polished and may have a series of tiny, evenly spaced ridges along the dorsum, running from the anterior to the posterior end of the shell. The size of golden cowrie shells can vary, but they typically measure between 1 to 2 inches in length. These cowries are typically found in warm, tropical waters in the Indo-Pacific region. They inhabit coral reefs and are often found on the sandy or rocky substrate within or near the reef. Golden cowries are herbivores and primarily feed on various species of sponges, using their specialized radula to scrape off bits of sponge tissue. While cowries are gastropods, they tend to be relatively immobile and are typically found in one place, often hidden within crevices or holes in the reef. They can extend a fleshy foot to move, but this is not their primary mode of locomotion. Cowries are dioecious, meaning they have separate male and female individuals. Fertilization is internal, with the male transferring sperm to the female. After fertilization, the female lays eggs that develop into planktonic larvae, eventually settling on the ocean floor to grow into adult cowries. Cowrie shells, including golden cowries, have had cultural and historical significance in various regions. They have been used as currency, ornaments, and symbols of wealth and fertility in different societies. Cowrie shells have been found in archaeological sites and have been used in various forms of art and craft. Golden cowries and other cowrie shells have been collected and traded by collectors and enthusiasts worldwide. They continue to be appreciated for their beauty and cultural significance. Golden cowries are a visually striking and culturally significant species of cowrie shell that adds a touch of the tropics to the world of shells and marine mollusks. Their luminous shells have made them prized and admired by people across the globe. Basket shells, also known as basket clams, are a group of marine bivalve mollusks belonging to the family Corbulidae. These small clams are characterized by their distinctive and ornate shell shape, which resembles a miniature basket or box. They are found in various coastal and shallow water environments around the world. Here are some key characteristics and information about basket shells. Basket shells have unique and highly sculpted shells that resemble a box or basket, with prominent ridges and compartments. The shells often have a rectangular or square appearance with deeply incised, zigzag-like patterns. These clams are typically small, with their shells ranging from about 0.4 to 1.2 inches in length. The size may vary depending on the species and location. Basket shells are marine bivalves found in a variety of coastal and shallow water environments, including estuaries, bays, intertidal zones, and sandy or muddy substrates. Basket shells are filter feeders, primarily consuming plankton and detritus by drawing water into their shells and filtering out particles. They have 2 siphons that extend from the shell to facilitate the intake and outflow of water. These clams have a muscular foot that allows them to burrow into the sediment or crawl along the substrate. While they are not highly mobile, they are adapted to move within their habitat. Basket shells respire by extracting oxygen from the water through gills, which are usually located in the posterior part of the body. Basket shells are typically dioecious, with separate male and female individuals. Fertilization typically occurs externally when eggs and sperm are released into the water. The fertilized eggs develop into planktonic larvae before settling on the ocean floor and growing into adult clams. Basket shells are important components of coastal ecosystems, where they play a role in nutrient cycling and contribute to the overall health of the habitat. They are also preyed upon by various marine animals, such as birds and crabs. Basket shells are admired for their ornate and intricate shell shapes, which make them visually distinct in the world of bivalve mollusks. While they may not be as well known as some other marine animals, their unique appearance and ecological roles make them a valuable part of coastal environments. Flame scallops, scientifically known as Lemur scabra, are a species of bivalve mollusks that belong to the family Limidae. They are also commonly referred to as electric flame scallops, or simply flame scallops, due to their stunning appearance. These bivalves are known for their vibrant and iridescent colors, making them a popular addition to marine aquariums. Here are some key characteristics and information about flame scallops. Flame scallops have brightly colored, fan-shaped shells. The upper valve is typically bright red, orange, or pink, while the lower valve is typically pale or whitish. The upper valve is more elongated and serves as a vibrant display, while the lower valve is used for attachment. Flame scallops are relatively small, with shell sizes typically ranging from 2 to 3 inches in width. These scallops are found in tropical and subtropical marine environments, often residing in crevices, overhangs, or shallow reef areas, where they attach themselves to hard substrates such as coral reefs, rocks, or shells. Flame scallops are filter feeders, primarily consuming plankton and small particles from the water. They use their feathery, bright red tentacles, called ctenidia, to capture and direct food particles toward their mouth. Unlike other bivalve mollusks, flame scallops are capable of limited mobility. They use their lower shell to swim or glide through the water, and their upper shell, which acts as a sail, catches currents to carry them to new locations. Flame scallops have separate male and female individuals. Fertilization occurs when sperm and eggs are released into the water, and the resulting larvae settle on the ocean floor and attach themselves to a substrate to grow into adult scallops. Flame scallops often form a symbiotic relationship with other organisms. They may host various species of small shrimp, such as Peterson cleaner shrimp or sexy shrimp, which benefit from the protection and access to food provided by the scallop's tentacles. In turn, the scallops benefit from the cleaning services provided by these shrimp. Flame scallops are popular in the marine aquarium trade due to their striking appearance. However, they can be challenging to maintain in captivity, as they have specific habitat and dietary requirements. It is essential to provide them with suitable water conditions and maintain a thriving population of microorganisms for them to filter feed on. Flame scallops are admired for their vibrant colors and unique behaviors, making them an attractive addition to marine aquariums. In their natural habitat, they contribute to the overall biodiversity and health of coral reef ecosystems. Sea butterflies, also known as pteropods, are a group of small, floating sea snails that belong to the mollusk class Gastropoda. They are characterized by their gelatinous, wing-like structures, which they use for swimming in the open ocean. Sea butterflies are fascinating and delicate creatures that are an essential part of marine ecosystems. Here are some key characteristics and information about sea butterflies. Sea butterflies have a unique body shape with a transparent, coiled shell that is often small and delicate. Their common name, sea butterflies, comes from their wing-like structures, called parapodia or wings, which they use for swimming. The size of sea butterflies can vary depending on the species, but they are generally small, typically ranging from a few millimeters to a few centimeters in length. Sea butterflies are pelagic marine snails, meaning they live in the open ocean rather than on the seafloor. They are found throughout the world's oceans, from surface waters down to considerable depths, depending on the species. Sea butterflies are voracious carnivores and primarily feed on other planktonic organisms, including small zooplankton and phytoplankton. They use mucus webs to capture their prey. Sea butterflies are exceptional swimmers, thanks to their wing-like structures. They create propulsion by flapping their parapodia, which allows them to move through the water column with ease. The shells of sea butterflies are often transparent and fragile, and they come in various shapes and sizes. Some species have shells that are coiled in a spiral, while others have more elongated or straight shells. Sea butterflies are an essential part of marine food webs. They are a source of food for various marine animals, including larger planktonic organisms, small fish, and some species of seabirds. Sea butterflies are particularly sensitive to changes in ocean chemistry, especially ocean acidification, which occurs as a result of increased carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere. The acidification can lead to the dissolution of their fragile shells and may negatively impact their populations. Sea butterflies have been studied for their role in marine ecosystems and their responses to environmental changes. They are also used in paleontological research to understand past ocean conditions. Sea butterflies are captivating marine creatures that demonstrate remarkable adaptations for life in the open ocean. Their unique swimming abilities, delicate shells, and ecological significance make them a subject of scientific interest and appreciation in the marine world. Flamingo tongues, also known as flamingo tongue snails, are a species of small, brightly colored sea snails. Scientifically, they belong to the family Scyphoma, and their species name is Scyphoma gibbosum. These snails are commonly found in tropical and subtropical waters of the Caribbean Sea, the Gulf of Mexico, and parts of the western Atlantic Ocean. Flamingo tongues are known for their striking and ornate shells and are often associated with coral reefs. Here are some key characteristics and information about flamingo tongues. The shells of flamingo tongues are small, glossy, and elongated with an oval or cylindrical shape. They are typically less than an inch in length. What makes them distinctive is their bright and vibrant coloration. The shells have intricate, flame-like patterns with a white base and striking pink, orange, or red spots and lines. These patterns give them the common name. Flamingo tongue snails are primarily found on and around coral reefs in tropical and subtropical marine environments. They are often located on Gorgonian corals and other soft corals. Flamingo tongues are herbivores that feed exclusively on soft corals, particularly Gorgonian corals. They use a radula to scrape and consume the soft tissues of the coral polyps. These snails are relatively immobile and are typically found attached to their host corals. They can crawl and extend a foot but do not have extensive mobility. Flamingo tongues are known to accumulate toxins from the corals they feed on. As a result, they are unpalatable and potentially toxic to many potential predators. Their vibrant coloration serves as a warning to would-be predators that they are not suitable prey. Flamingo tongues are dioecious, with separate male and female individuals. They lay eggs, which develop into planktonic larvae that eventually settle on the ocean floor and grow into adult snails. While flamingo tongue snails are not considered endangered, they are subject to collection by shell collectors and divers. Overharvesting can have negative impacts on local populations, and it's important to practice responsible and sustainable collection practices. Flamingo tongues are admired for their colorful and visually striking shells, which have made them popular among shell collectors and enthusiasts. They are a beautiful and ecologically interesting part of coral reef ecosystems, where they play a role in controlling the growth of soft corals. Their vibrant patterns are not only a visual delight, but also serve as a warning to potential predators, making them a unique and captivating species in the marine world. The warty sea cucumber, scientifically known as Parastachopus parvimensis, is a species of sea cucumber, which is a marine echinoderm related to sea stars, sea urchins, and sand dollars. The warty sea cucumber gets its name from the distinctive warts or tubercles that cover its body. These sea cucumbers are found in various coastal and shallow water marine environments, primarily in the eastern Pacific Ocean. Here are some key characteristics and information about the warty sea cucumber. The warty sea cucumber has a thick, elongated, and sausage-like body covered in warts or tubercles. The tubercles can vary in size and distribution, giving the animal a distinctive, bumpy appearance. The coloration of these sea cucumbers can range from brown to reddish-brown or purple. Warty sea cucumbers can reach lengths of up to 12 inches or more, depending on the individual's age and environmental conditions. They are typically found in shallow coastal waters, particularly in rocky or sandy substrates, seagrass beds, and kelp forests. They are often buried in the sediments or hidden among rocks and algae. Warty sea cucumbers are detritivores, which means they feed on organic matter and detritus found in the sediment. They use their tentacles, which are modified tube feet, to collect particles from the substrate and transfer them to their mouth. They respire by extracting oxygen from the water through specialized respiratory tree structures within their body cavity. These structures allow them to breathe and exchange gases. Warty sea cucumbers have a remarkable defense mechanism. When threatened, they can expel their internal organs, which can entangle or distract predators. The sea cucumber can later regenerate these organs. These sea cucumbers are dioecious, with separate male and female individuals. Fertilization typically occurs externally when males release sperm and females release eggs into the water. The fertilized eggs develop into planktonic larvae before settling on the ocean floor to grow into juvenile sea cucumbers. Warty sea cucumbers play a crucial role in marine ecosystems by helping to recycle and break down organic matter in the sediments. Their feeding and burrowing activities contribute to sediment turnover and nutrient cycling. Some species of sea cucumbers, including the warty sea cucumber, are commercially harvested for their meat, which is considered a delicacy in some Asian cuisines. Sustainable management practices are important to prevent overharvesting. Warty sea cucumbers are unique and fascinating creatures that are not only ecologically important but also of economic significance in some regions. Their ability to regenerate organs and their role in sediment health make them an interesting subject of study in marine biology and ecology. Olive snails, often referred to as olive shells, are a group of sea snails belonging to the family Olividae. These marine gastropod mollusks are known for their distinctive, elongated, and glossy shells that resemble olives, which is how they get their common name. Here are some key characteristics of olive snails. The shells of olive snails are typically elongated, cylindrical, and smooth, with a narrow aperture and a pointed apex. Olive snail shells come in a range of colors, including various shades of brown, cream, and sometimes patterned with darker markings. The size of olive snails varies among species, but they generally have relatively large shells, with some species reaching several inches in length. Olive snails are found in oceans worldwide, primarily in tropical and subtropical waters, often in sandy or muddy substrates. These snails are carnivorous and primarily feed on other marine invertebrates, such as clams and other mollusks. Olive snails are admired for their beautiful shells and are sometimes collected by shell enthusiasts. However, it's essential to be mindful of conservation regulations and guidelines when collecting shells from the wild, as some species may be threatened or endangered due to habitat destruction and overharvesting. Hammerhead worms, also known as broadhead planarians or land planarians, are a type of terrestrial flatworm belonging to the family Bipaliidae. These worms are distinctive for their flattened, elongated bodies and their broad, hammerhead-shaped heads, which give them the common name. Here are some key characteristics and information about hammerhead worms. Hammerhead worms are relatively large compared to many other flatworms, with some species reaching lengths of up to 20 inches. They have a ribbon-like, flattened body, and their head is broad and triangular in shape, resembling a hammerhead. They come in various colors, including shades of brown, gray, and sometimes mottled patterns. Hammerhead worms are primarily found in moist, terrestrial environments, such as gardens, leaf litter, and forest floors. They are often encountered under rocks, logs, or in soil. These worms are predatory and feed on earthworms, snails, and other soft-bodied invertebrates. They use a combination of mucus and their body shape to capture and immobilize their prey. Hammerhead worms are hermaphrodites, meaning they have both male and female reproductive organs. They reproduce by copulating with other individuals and can also reproduce asexually by fragmentation, where a piece of their body can regenerate into a new worm. In some regions, certain species of hammerhead worms have become invasive pests that can negatively impact local ecosystems. They may outcompete native earthworms and disrupt the balance of soil-dwelling organisms. It's worth noting that while hammerhead worms can be fascinating to observe, Their status as invasive species in some areas underscores the importance of not intentionally transporting them to new locations and being aware of potential ecological impacts in regions where they are not native. Ammonites were marine mollusks that lived during the geological eras from the Devonian period to the end of the Cretaceous period. They were part of the cephalopoda class, which also includes modern-day squids, octopuses, and nautiluses. Ammonites are known for their coiled, spiral-shaped shells, which are often beautifully preserved as fossils. Here are some key characteristics and information about ammonites. Ammonite shells were typically coiled in a planispiral shape, much like a tightly wound snail shell. These shells were divided into a series of chambers by a spiral, wall-like structure called septa. The animal lived in the outermost chamber, while the inner chambers contained gas, allowing the ammonite to control its buoyancy. The size of ammonites varied greatly among different species. Some were quite small, while others could reach substantial sizes, with diameters ranging from a fraction of an inch to several feet. Ammonites were exclusively marine creatures and inhabited the seas and oceans of their respective eras. They were free-swimming, predatory animals that lived in a variety of aquatic environments, from shallow coastal waters to deep-sea regions. Ammonites became extinct at the end of the Cretaceous period, around the same time as the mass extinction event that also wiped out the non-avian dinosaurs. The exact cause of their extinction remains a topic of scientific investigation, but factors such as changing sea levels, climatic conditions, and asteroid impact have been proposed as possible contributors. Ammonite fossils are widespread and abundant in the fossil record. The unique shape and structure of their shells make them popular among fossil collectors, scientists, and enthusiasts. The study of ammonite fossils has been essential for understanding the Earth's geological history and for dating rock layers and sedimentary formations through a method called biostratigraphy. Ammonites exhibit a wide range of shell shapes and intricate patterns, and they are often used as index fossils in stratigraphy to help determine the age of sedimentary rocks. Their fossils provide valuable insights into ancient marine ecosystems and past geological conditions. Cone snails are a group of predatory sea snails belonging to the family Conidae. They are known for their striking and beautifully patterned conical shells. These snails are found in various warm water oceans and seas around the world. Cone snails are remarkable for their predatory behavior and their ability to produce venom that can be toxic to humans and other animals. Here are some key characteristics and information about cone snails. Cone snails have elongated, conical shells with intricate patterns and colors, which can vary widely among different species. The shells are often highly prized by collectors for their aesthetic appeal. Cone snails are carnivorous and use a specialized feeding structure known as a radula tooth, which is modified into a harpoon-like structure. When they locate their prey, typically small fish, other snails, or worms, they shoot a harpoon loaded with venom to immobilize and capture their meal. The venom produced by cone snails can be extremely potent and contains a complex mix of toxins. Some of these toxins can have neurotoxic effects on their prey, affecting the nervous system. In some cases, cone snail venom can be harmful to humans, and several species are considered dangerous. Despite their dangerous venom, some compounds found in cone snail toxins have been investigated for their potential medicinal applications. Certain neurotoxins from cone snails have been studied for their ability to manage pain, epilepsy, and neurological disorders. The family Conidae is highly diverse, with numerous species and subspecies. Taxonomists and scientists continue to describe and classify new species within this family, which underscores the vast biodiversity of cone snails. Some cone snail species are threatened due to habitat loss and overcollecting by shell enthusiasts. Conservation efforts are necessary to protect these unique marine creatures. It's essential to exercise caution and not handle or disturb cone snails in the wild, as they can deliver potentially dangerous venomous stings. If you encounter cone snails, it's best to observe them from a safe distance and not attempt to handle them. Pulmonate snails are a diverse group of air-breathing land snails and freshwater snails that belong to the subclass Pulmonata, which is a subclass of the class Gastropoda. Unlike many other types of snails that respire primarily through gills, pulmonated snails have evolved a lung-like structure called a pallial cavity, which allows them to breathe air. This adaptation enables them to live in various terrestrial and freshwater environments. Here are some key characteristics and information about pulmonate snails. Pulmonate snails are well adapted to terrestrial and freshwater habitats, and they are commonly found in gardens, forests, wetlands, rivers, lakes, and ponds. They have a diverse range of sizes and shapes, with some species being very small and others relatively large. Unlike aquatic snails that use gills for respiration, pulmonate snails have a pallial cavity, which functions as a lung, allowing them to extract oxygen from the air. They breathe by periodically opening and closing a respiratory pore known as the pneumostom, located on the side of their bodies. Pulmonate snails do not possess an operculum, which is a hard, protective cover used by many other snail species to seal the shell's opening when they retreat into their shells. Instead, pulmonate snails protect themselves by retracting into their shells and sealing the opening with a mucus layer. Most pulmonate snails are hermaphrodites, meaning they possess both male and female reproductive organs. This allows them to mate with any other member of their species they encounter, and they exchange sperm during copulation. Pulmonate snails play various ecological roles. Some species are herbivorous and feed on plant material, while others are detritivores, consuming decaying organic matter. They are an essential part of food chains and contribute to nutrient cycling in ecosystems. Some pulmonate snails can serve as intermediate hosts for parasitic flatworms known as trematodes, which can have medical implications for humans and animals. Pulmonate snails are a diverse and ecologically important group of mollusks, with numerous species found in a wide range of habitats worldwide. They are a subject of scientific study and are also of interest to hobbyists and collectors due to their varied and often colorful shells. Nautilus is a marine mollusk that belongs to the class Cephalopoda, which includes other well-known cephalopods like squid, octopus, and cuttlefish. Nautiluses are distinct from other cephalopods due to their unique and ancient features. They are often referred to as living fossils because they have retained many characteristics of their ancestors that lived hundreds of millions of years ago. Here are some key characteristics and information about nautiluses. Nautiluses are recognized for their spiral-shaped, coiled shells. These shells are divided into chambers, with the living animal residing in the outermost chamber. As the nautilus grows, it adds new chambers to its shell in a logarithmic spiral pattern. The gas-filled chambers help regulate buoyancy and allow the nautilus to control its depth in the water. Nautiluses have numerous long, slender tentacles that surround their mouth. These tentacles are equipped with sucker-like structures that the nautilus uses for capturing prey, mainly small fish and crustaceans. Nautiluses move through the water by using jet propulsion. They take in water into their mantle cavity and then forcefully expel it through a siphon, propelling themselves forward in the opposite direction. This mechanism allows for precise control of movement and buoyancy. Nautilus has highly developed eyes that are similar to those of other cephalopods. They have excellent vision, which helps them locate prey and navigate their environment. Nautiluses are primarily found in deep-sea environments, often at depths of several hundred meters or more. They are typically associated with reef systems or the continental slope. Unlike some other cephalopods, which can have a wide distribution, nautiluses have a limited geographical range. They are found in the Indo-Pacific region, including the waters around the Philippines and parts of Australia. Some nautilus species are currently facing threats due to overfishing and habitat destruction. Their shells are highly sought after in the shell trade, which has led to conservation concerns. Nautiluses are often considered living fossils because their lineage dates back hundreds of millions of years, and they have undergone relatively little change in their basic body plan during that time. They provide valuable insights into the evolutionary history of cephalopods and the marine ecosystem. Moon snails are a group of predatory sea snails belonging to the family Naticidae. They are known for their distinctive and large, moon-shaped shells, which have given them the common name. These snails are primarily marine and can be found in various oceans and coastal areas around the world. Here are some key characteristics and information about moon snails. Moon snail shells are characterized by the thick, rounded, and moon-shaped appearance, with a wide body whorl that covers the preceding whorls. The shells can vary in size, but many species have relatively large shells, with some reaching several inches in diameter. The color of moon snail shells can vary but is often pale or beige, with some species exhibiting attractive patterns or markings. Moon snails inhabit sandy or muddy substrates in intertidal zones, as well as in shallow coastal waters. They are known for their ability to burrow into the substrate, where they search for prey. Moon snails are carnivorous and primarily feed on bivalve mollusks, such as clams and mussels. They use a unique feeding method in which they drill a hole into the shell of their prey using a radula tooth adapted for drilling, and then they feed on the soft tissues of the bivalve. Moon snails are dioecious, meaning they have separate male and female individuals. They lay gelatinous egg masses that contain numerous tiny eggs. These egg masses are often found in the intertidal zone and have a distinctive appearance, resembling a coil of translucent jelly. Moon snails play a role in controlling populations of bivalve mollusks, which can have ecological and economic significance in certain coastal areas. Moon snails are fascinating marine creatures known for their unusual shell shape and predatory behavior. They are often observed by beachcombers and marine enthusiasts, particularly in areas with sandy or muddy substrates where they are commonly found. Pond snails are a group of aquatic snails that belong to various families within the order Hygrophila. They are typically found in freshwater environments, including ponds, lakes, slow-moving rivers, and other bodies of freshwater. Pond snails are known for their adaptability and are a common component of many aquatic ecosystems. Here are some key characteristics and information about pond snails. Pond snails come in various sizes, but they generally have coiled shells that can range in color from brown to black, and some may have banded or striped patterns. Their shells are typically conical or spiral in shape. As the name suggests, pond snails primarily inhabit freshwater environments. They are often found in still or slow-moving waters, such as ponds, lakes, marshes, and calm sections of rivers and streams. Pond snails are typically herbivorous, feeding on algae and plant matter. They use their radula, a specialized feeding organ, to scrape algae and detritus from submerged surfaces. Pond snails are hermaphrodites, which means they have both male and female reproductive organs. They can lay clusters of gelatinous egg masses on various underwater surfaces, which contain numerous eggs. These egg masses are often clear or translucent and can be seen attached to aquatic plants or rocks. Pond snails play a vital role in aquatic ecosystems. They help regulate algae populations by grazing on them, which can have a significant impact on water quality and the overall health of the ecosystem. They are also a food source for various aquatic predators, including birds, fish, and amphibians. In some cases, pond snails can become pests in garden ponds or aquaria, where their populations may explode and affect the balance of the ecosystem. Some people may use methods to control their numbers in such situations. Pond snails are fascinating creatures that contribute to the health and dynamics of freshwater ecosystems. They are often appreciated for their roles in maintaining water quality by controlling algae growth. In a balanced environment, pond snails are beneficial inhabitants of ponds and other freshwater bodies. Sea pigs, scientifically known as scotoplanes, are deep-sea marine animals that belong to a group of sea cucumbers. They are found in the abyssal zones of the world's oceans, typically at depths of 4,000 to 6,000 meters. Sea pigs are notable for their unusual appearance and behavior in the extreme conditions of the deep sea. Here are some key characteristics and information about sea pigs. Sea pigs have a distinctive, sausage-shaped body covered in a thick layer of gelatinous skin. They are bilaterally symmetrical, with tube feet on the ventral side that resemble little legs. These tube feet are used for crawling along the ocean floor. Sea pigs are detritivores, which means they feed on dead organic material that sinks to the ocean floor, including marine snow, which consists of decaying plant and animal matter, feces, and other organic debris that drifts down from the surface waters. Their tentacles surrounding their mouth help them sift through and collect this detritus from the sediment. Sea pigs are well adapted to life in the deep sea. Their gelatinous skin and a unique posture help them maintain buoyancy and move along the ocean floor with their tube feet. Sea pigs live in one of the most extreme environments on Earth, where there is complete darkness and intense pressure. They are found in areas known as hadal zones, which include deep trenches and other deep-sea features. Little is known about the reproductive behavior of sea pigs due to the challenges of studying them in their deep-sea habitat. However, they are believed to have a pelagic larval stage before settling on the ocean floor. Sea pigs are relatively abundant in their deep-sea habitat, and their population density can be quite high in areas with abundant detritus. While sea pigs are not widely known, they are an essential part of the deep-sea ecosystem. They play a crucial role in breaking down organic matter that reaches the ocean floor, thus recycling nutrients and contributing to the overall health of the deep-sea environment. Fluted giant clams are a group of large, colorful, and iconic marine mollusks belonging to the family Tridacnidae. They are known for their beautiful, fluted shells and vibrant colors, as well as their association with coral reefs in the warm waters of the Indo-Pacific region. These clams are notable for their size and play an important ecological role in reef ecosystems. Here are some key characteristics and information about fluted giant clams. Fluted giant clams are among the largest species of bivalve mollusks in the world. They can reach impressive sizes, with some individuals growing as large as 47 inches across. The shells of fluted giant clams are characterized by their distinctive fluted or wavy patterns, which give them the common name. They come in a range of vibrant colors, including blue, green, brown, and even iridescent shades, making them visually stunning. Fluted giant clams have a mutualistic relationship with photosynthetic algae called zooxanthellae, which live within their tissues. The clams provide a protective environment and access to sunlight for the algae, while the algae, in turn, provide the clams with nutrients through photosynthesis. This relationship allows fluted giant clams to thrive in nutrient-poor coral reef environments. Although they have algae to provide them with nutrients, fluted giant clams are also filter feeders. They use their mantle tissues to filter small plankton and organic particles from the water, supplementing their nutrition. Fluted giant clams face several conservation challenges, including habitat destruction, overharvesting for the marine aquarium trade, and collection for their shells, which are prized for their beauty. Conservation efforts are in place to protect and sustain their populations. These clams are considered ecosystem engineers in coral reef ecosystems, as they help to filter water, cycle nutrients, and create a diverse and complex microhabitat for other marine organisms. They also play a role in reef formation by helping to cement reef structures over time. Fluted giant clams are highly valued for their striking appearance and ecological contributions to coral reefs. Efforts to conserve and protect these magnificent creatures and their fragile reef habitats are crucial to maintaining the health and biodiversity of coral reef ecosystems. Carrier shells, also known as basket shells, are a group of small to medium-sized marine snails that belong to the family Xenophoridae. These snails are known for the unique and distinctive behavior of collecting and attaching a variety of objects, including other shells, stones, and even pieces of coral, to their own shells. This practice of carrying or collecting objects has earned them the common name of carrier shells. Here are some key characteristics and information about carrier shells. Carrier shells have coiled, spiral-shaped shells that are often relatively small, ranging from a fraction of an inch to a few inches in size. The shells may be smooth or sculpted with ribs or spines. Carrier shells are renowned for their behavior of attaching objects to their shells. They use a specialized, adhesive structure called an operculum to secure these objects, which can include shells of other mollusks, small stones, and even pieces of coral. These objects provide camouflage, protection, and added weight to the shell. Carrier shells are primarily herbivorous and graze on algae and other small, plant-like organisms found on the surfaces of the objects they collect. Carrier shells are typically found in warm, tropical and subtropical waters, often on coral reefs or in other shallow marine environments. They are generally found on the seafloor or attached to hard substrates. Carrier shells, like most marine snails, are dioecious, meaning they have separate male and female individuals. They lay eggs, which hatch into free-swimming larvae that eventually settle to the seafloor. Carrier shells have attracted the interest of scientists and researchers due to their unique behavior of collecting objects. Studying carrier shells can provide insights into how animals adapt and interact with their environments. Carrier shells are fascinating creatures due to their unusual habit of collecting and attaching objects to their shells. This behavior serves both practical and ecological purposes, providing them with camouflage and protection in their marine habitats. Cowries are a group of small to medium-sized marine snails belonging to the family Cypridae. These snails are highly recognizable and well known for their distinct, shiny, and often brightly colored shells, which are prized for their beauty and have been used as currency, jewelry, and ornaments in various cultures throughout history. Cowries are found in warm and tropical waters around the world. Here are some key characteristics and information about cowries. Cowrie shells are elongated, oval-shaped, and highly polished. They have a dorsal side that is smooth and glossy, while the ventral side is flattened and has a series of longitudinal teeth, which serve as a protective cover for the snail's soft body. Cowrie shells can vary in color, and they often feature striking patterns and designs. Some species are solid-colored, while others have mottled or spotted patterns. The coloration of cowries can range from pale white to yellow, brown, black, and vibrant shades of orange, red, and pink. Cowries are typically found in shallow tropical and subtropical waters, inhabiting coral reefs, rocky substrates, and sandy bottoms. They are also known to live in deeper waters, but they are more commonly encountered in shallow environments. Cowries are herbivorous, feeding on algae and other plant-like organisms that they scrape from the surfaces of rocks and corals using their radula, a specialized feeding organ. Cowries are dioecious, meaning they have separate male and female individuals. They reproduce by releasing eggs and sperm into the water, where fertilization occurs externally. The resulting larvae eventually settle on the seafloor and develop into adult snails. Cowrie shells have had cultural and historical significance in various parts of the world. They have been used as a form of currency, jewelry, and religious or decorative ornaments in many cultures, including those in Africa, Asia, and the Pacific Islands. Cowrie shells are still highly sought after by collectors and enthusiasts due to their aesthetic appeal and historical value. While cowrie shells are less commonly used as currency in the modern world, their shells remain popular as decorative items, jewelry, and collectibles, highlighting their enduring cultural significance and beauty. Sea spiders, also known as pycnogonids, are a group of marine arthropods that are found in oceans worldwide, from shallow coastal waters to the deep sea. Despite their name, sea spiders are not true spiders and belong to their own distinct class within the arthropod phylum. They are characterized by their long, slender bodies and multiple legs, which give them a spindly appearance. Here are some key characteristics and information about sea spiders. Sea spiders have a unique and elongated body plan, with a small, often rounded, cephalothorax and an elongated abdomen. They can range in size from a few millimeters to several centimeters in length. Sea spiders have 4 to 6 pairs of long, slender legs, and in some species, these legs can be considerably longer than the body. Sea spiders are primarily marine and can be found in a wide range of marine environments, from intertidal zones to deep-sea habitats. Some species are adapted to very cold waters, such as those in the polar regions. Sea spiders are mostly filter feeders or predators, depending on the species. Filter-feeding sea spiders use their long proboscis to extract nutrients from soft-bodied invertebrates, such as hydroids and coral polyps. Predatory sea spiders use their long legs to capture small prey like tiny crustaceans and other small invertebrates. Sea spiders have separate sexes, with males and females. They lay eggs, which are often carried by the males until they hatch. Unlike most arthropods, sea spiders do not have a specialized respiratory system. Instead, they perform gas exchange through diffusion across their thin body wall. This limits their size, as larger animals would have difficulty obtaining sufficient oxygen through diffusion alone. Sea spiders belong to the class Pycnogonida, and they are not closely related to true spiders or other arachnids. Their evolutionary relationships within the animal kingdom are still a subject of study and debate. Sea spiders play important roles in marine ecosystems, and their health and populations can be indicative of the overall health of the environment in which they live. As such, they are studied by scientists to monitor the status of marine ecosystems. Sea spiders are intriguing creatures due to their unusual appearance and unique adaptations to their marine environments. While they are not commonly encountered by the general public, they are of interest to marine biologists and researchers studying marine biodiversity and ecology. Pearl oysters, also known as pearl-producing oysters, are a group of bivalve mollusks that belong to various species of oysters, clams, and mussels. These oysters are notable for their ability to produce pearls, which are highly valued gemstones used in jewelry and ornamentation. Pearl oysters are found in various warm and tropical waters around the world, and they are particularly known for their economic and cultural significance. Here are some key characteristics and information about pearl oysters. Pearl oysters have 2 shells, or valves, that are hinged together, like other bivalve mollusks. Their shells are generally smooth, elongated, and somewhat oval in shape. The interior of the shell is often lined with a shiny, iridescent substance known as mother of pearl or nacre. Pearl oysters can produce pearls as a response to an irritant or foreign object that enters their soft tissues. When a tiny particle, such as a grain of sand, enters the oyster, it covers the irritant with layers of nacre to protect itself. Over time, the layering process results in the formation of a pearl. Pearls produced by pearl oysters can be either natural or cultured. Natural pearls are formed without human intervention, whereas cultured pearls are produced with the deliberate insertion of irritants by pearl farmers. Most pearls on the market today are cultured. The production of pearls from pearl oysters is a significant industry, with pearl farms located in various countries, including Japan, China, the Philippines, and Tahiti. High-quality pearls are highly valued and can command high prices in the jewelry market. The quality of a pearl is determined by factors such as its size, shape, luster, surface quality, and color. Pearls come in various shapes, including round, oval, baroque, and more. The most valuable pearls are often perfectly round and have a high luster and minimal surface blemishes. Pearl oysters play an important ecological role in marine environments by filtering water, which helps improve water quality. They are also a food source for various marine organisms. Sustainable pearl farming practices are important for the health of pearl oyster populations and the ecosystems in which they are found. Overharvesting and habitat destruction can have detrimental effects on these mollusks. Pearl oysters are fascinating creatures that have been prized for centuries for the pearls they produce. The careful cultivation of pearls in a sustainable and ethical manner is essential to ensure the long-term health and viability of both pearl oyster populations and the pearl industry. Sea lemons are a group of sea slugs, specifically nudibranches, that belong to the family Dormidae. These marine gastropod mollusks are known for their distinctive, lemon-shaped bodies, and they are often recognized by their striking colors and unique appearance. Sea lemons are found in various oceans and coastal regions, particularly in temperate and subtidal zones. Here are some key characteristics and information about sea lemons. Sea lemons are characterized by their oval or lemon-shaped bodies, which are flattened and somewhat bulbous. Their bodies lack a protective shell, and they have exposed gills and other sensory structures on their upper surface. Sea lemons are known for their vibrant and often bold coloration. They can display a range of hues, including bright yellows, oranges, reds, and even purples. Some species may have contrasting patterns or spots. Sea lemons vary in size, with individuals typically measuring a few inches in length. The specific size and coloration can vary depending on the species. Sea lemons are primarily found in temperate and subtidal zones along rocky coasts, where they are often encountered among algae and kelp beds. They are particularly associated with areas rich in marine life. Sea lemons are herbivores, and they primarily feed on various species of sponges. They have specialized structures in their mouthparts that allow them to graze on these sessile organisms. Sea lemons, like many other nudibranchs, have evolved various defense mechanisms. Some species are toxic or distasteful to predators, and they may sequester chemicals from the sponges they feed on, using these toxins as a means of protection. Sea lemons are hermaphrodites, meaning they have both male and female reproductive organs. They engage in reciprocal copulation, where they exchange sperm with other sea lemons during mating. Sea lemons belong to the order Nudibranchia, a diverse group of marine gastropod mollusks that are known for their striking colors and unique forms. Nudibranchs are fascinating subjects for marine biologists and underwater enthusiasts due to their incredible diversity and adaptations. Sea lemons are striking and colorful marine creatures that contribute to the biodiversity of coastal ecosystems. Their vibrant appearance and interesting behaviors make them popular subjects for underwater photography and scientific study. Whelks are a group of marine gastropod mollusks that belong to the family Buccinidae. They are often found in temperate and cold water marine environments, and they are characterized by their spiral-shaped shells, which are typically elongated and pointed. Whelks are carnivorous predators and play important roles in marine ecosystems. Here are some key characteristics and information about whelks. Whelk shells are spiral and usually elongated, with a pointed apex. The shells are typically thick and durable, providing protection for the soft-bodied animal inside. Whelks come in various sizes, with some species being relatively small, around an inch or two in length, while others can grow much larger, reaching several inches in length. Whelks are primarily marine and are commonly found along rocky coastlines, intertidal zones, and subtidal areas. They are often associated with intertidal and subtidal communities and can be found in a wide range of habitats, from shallow waters to deeper ocean areas. Whelks are carnivorous and predatory. They use their proboscis, a long, extensible feeding organ, to capture and consume various prey, including other mollusks, crustaceans, and small invertebrates. Some species also feed on carrion or scavenged prey. Whelks have separate sexes, with both males and females. They reproduce by laying egg capsules, which are often deposited on hard substrates like rocks. The eggs hatch into planktonic larvae, which eventually settle and develop into juvenile whelks. Some species of whelks are commercially harvested for human consumption, particularly in certain parts of the world. Whelk meat is often used in seafood dishes, and their shells are sometimes used for decorative purposes. Sustainable harvesting practices are important for the long-term health and conservation of whelk populations. Overharvesting can have detrimental effects on these mollusks and the ecosystems in which they live. Whelks are ecologically important marine animals and are valuable members of coastal ecosystems. They are part of the complex food web in marine environments, and they contribute to the balance of predator-prey interactions. Some species are also enjoyed as a seafood delicacy in various cuisines. Sea slugs, also known as nudibranchs, are a diverse group of marine gastropod mollusks that belong to the class Gastropoda. They are characterized by their striking colors, unique shapes, and fascinating behaviors. Sea slugs are found in oceans worldwide, from shallow coastal waters to the deep sea. They are highly regarded for their vibrant and often otherworldly appearances. Here are some key characteristics and information about sea slugs. Sea slugs are renowned for their vivid and diverse colors, patterns, and shapes. They display a stunning array of hues, including bright blues, reds, oranges, purples, and even neon-like shades. Their colorful appearance serves various functions, including camouflage, warning coloration, and mimicry. Sea slugs come in a wide range of sizes, with some species being only a few millimeters long, while others can reach several inches in length. Their size depends on the species and their life stage. Unlike most other gastropods, sea slugs lack a protective shell. Instead, their soft bodies are exposed and often adorned with external structures, such as serrata, which can serve as extensions of their respiratory and digestive systems. Sea slugs are carnivorous and primarily feed on a variety of prey, including sponges, hydroids, sea anemones, and other soft-bodied invertebrates. Some species have specialized adaptations to feed on toxic organisms and incorporate their toxins for defense. Sea slugs have evolved various defense mechanisms. Some have toxic spines or chemicals they secrete to deter predators. Others use camouflage, mimicry, or aposematism to avoid being eaten. Sea slugs inhabit a wide range of marine environments, from rocky reefs to sandy bottoms, and can be found in intertidal zones, coral reefs, and deep-sea ecosystems. They are often associated with particular prey items and can be found in areas where their preferred food sources are abundant. Most sea slugs are hermaphrodites, meaning they have both male and female reproductive organs. They engage in copulation, exchanging sperm packets to fertilize each other's eggs. After fertilization, sea slugs lay egg masses, which can have intricate and beautiful patterns. Nudibranchs belong to the class Gastropoda, but they are a specialized and highly diverse group within this class. There are thousands of known species of sea slugs, and they are the subject of ongoing scientific research and discovery. Sea slugs are fascinating and beautiful creatures, and they are popular subjects for marine biologists, underwater photographers, and divers. Their stunning colors and intricate behaviors make them a captivating component of marine ecosystems and a source of wonder for those who encounter them in the ocean.